So we're starting right away. So I was talking about the fact that if you want to understand the secret of the universe, things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And last week, we talked about how to maintain your frequency for manifestation, part 1. Today, we talk about part 2. And what will be the focus of part 2? Part 1, our focus was on 1, begin to see the problem that you have has been already solved. And 2, okay, we'll do 2, 3, and 4 today. Okay, we spent a lot of time on 1 last week. Let me start today by quoting the scripture that says that you can understand God by studying the creation or work of his hand. He said the invisibility of him are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Another translation says God's eternal power and character cannot be seen. God's eternal power and character cannot be seen. But from beginning of creation, God has shown what these are like by all he has made. That is why those people don't have any excuse. So I would like to state that some of the languages used in scriptures are based on the limitation of the understanding of the people at that time. If the scripture is going to be written today, you are going to see some changes in the language being used. You are going to see things like energy, frequency, and vibration being used. Why? Because that's what life is about. And that's exactly what science is discovering. That's always been coded and coded in scriptures. But because we do not have understanding of science, we couldn't decode it. But now we can. Now we can. Now we can because we have a better understanding of science, of our environment. And that is helping us in discerning. I would like to also say that love, joy, and peace make you to be at a high frequency of vibration because you create heaven within. And a man can receive nothing unless it be given to him from heaven. Because he said the kingdom of heaven is within you. And he said the kingdom of heaven is not in meat or drink, but righteousness, peace, and joy. And he said, seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added. And he said the kingdom is manifested through righteousness, peace, and joy. And he said that kingdom is within you. And he said a man can receive nothing unless it be given to him from heaven. And he said that kingdom of heaven is within you. When you are full of love, joy, and peace, you create heaven within. And you're at a high frequency. But anger, hatred, and fear make you to do evil and make you to keep you at a low frequency of vibration. This is why as long as you are in Christ, which means you are full of love, you are full of joy, you are full of peace, evil power cannot harm you because you are above them due to your high frequency of vibration. God has set up different systems on the earth, and this make him not to interfere in the way the earth operates every time. Some of these systems include water cycle, carbon cycle, phosphorus cycle, nitrogen cycle. And you see this cycle, they are autonomous. They operate by themselves. Just the way right there in your body you have respiratory system, nervous system, skeletal system, muscular system, gastrointestinal system, lymphatic system, cardiovascular system, pulmonary system, endocrine system, lymphatic system. All these systems in your body, they are functioning autonomously. They are functioning autonomously. But for them to function, they need energy. Your cell unlocks energy from the food you eat. Because when the glucose gets into the cell, when you eat carbohydrate, the carbohydrate you eat is broken down into glucose in your stomach, in an intestine, and is absorbed into the bloodstream. The bloodstream carries it to the cell. When it gets to the cell, it penetrates to the cell wall, get into the cytoplasm, and then find its way into the mitochondria. The oxygen and the glucose go through a process called the Krebs cycle, where the energy in the glucose is released with CO2. The energy is a molecule and is ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that is released with CO2. The CO2 diffuses back into the bloodstream back, but the energy is stored within the cell because it's to be utilized. That energy determines the level of vibration of the cell. The level of vibration of the cell determines the frequency, and the frequency determines your reality. And that's why we are saying, how do we maintain this frequency? How do we maintain this? The reason why when you are sick, one of the things that happen when you are sick is the fact that your cells are at a low level of vibration. It's amazing how powerful the cell is, how the body can deal with issues. Very powerful. How the body can deal with issues. The body is very powerful. It can deal with sicknesses, diseases, if you create the right environment. And you create the right environment by the kind of things you eat and the time you eat. If you eat a lot, you are not going to help yourself at all. You are not going to help yourself at all. You are not going to help yourself at all. So we'll continue from where we left off last week, how to maintain frequency. Number 2, note that the strength in adversity is yours. 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 And I'm repeating that. I'm saying that repeatedly, deliberately. The strength in adversity is yours. Why am I saying that the strength in adversity is yours? The reason I'm saying the strength in adversity is yours is because the reason I'm saying the strength in adversity is yours is because all things work together for your good. It's important for you to recognize this and redirect your energy towards what you want. The fact that when things happen in an environment you don't like, don't use your energy, don't waste your energy focusing on what you don't want. Sometimes you are putting in all the work and it seems like things are not changing the way you expect. Rather, things might even be getting worse. Note that anytime it appears that life beats you down, that things appear insurmountable, it appears things seem difficult, the strength that the world has over you in that situation is yours. The reason why this few strength that reality has over you is yours is because you and your reality are one and the same. When reality seems to be working against you, it is using your strength. It is your strength that fuels it because you are unconscious of this. You're unconscious that adversity is fueled by your frequency. It's fueled by your frequency. It is waiting for you to redirect it in the direction that help you achieve your desired reality. Please know that reality has no strength other than the one you give to it. So recognize it and redirect it in favor of yourself. As a human, we made mistake of making giants, making demons out of our problem, making devils out of our problem. And the implication of this is that the way you look at life is the way life look at you. The way you look at life is the way life look at you. So if you see your problem as big, then reality will make it very big. If you see your problem as small, reality will make it very small. This is called the projection perception loop, the perception projection loop. So you need to see your problem as minor and negligible for it to appear small and negligible. This is because reality has no strength other than the one you have given to it through your perception. You have a challenge you are faced with. If it's going to be a big problem, you are the one that will make it big. If it's going to be a small problem, you are the one that will make it small. It's all about the way you perceive it. If it's going to be big, you give it the energy. So something happens you don't like, you feel bad, you feel sad, you focus on it, you create hell within, then hell will manifest it without. You are the one giving it the energy to aggravate it. You are the one giving it the energy that aggravates it. You are the one giving it the energy that aggravates it. You are the one giving it the energy that aggravates it. Because attention is alignment. Attention is alignment. Attention is alignment. Do not give it the energy that aggravates it. How do you do that? Focus on the other end of the spectrum. Focus on the other end of the spectrum. Remember, old, hot, or cold, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Success, failure, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Fear, courage, the same energy, different rate of vibration. So why don't you look at the other side, the positive side of this situation, and focus your attention on it? Reality need your energy to manifest, to continue, to perpetuate it. And you do that subconsciously. And then you are complaining. How do you even complain about what you permit? How? How do you complain about what you permit? 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 But unfortunately, many people are not conscious of the fact that they are the one permitting it. You are just had an issue. I don't care what it is. You lost an opportunity. You lost a job. You lost money. Something happened. You fail an exam. It doesn't matter what it is. If that thing is going to perpetuate itself, you are the one that will give it the energy. Redirect your energy. Because when you now, remember we're talking about to maintain your frequency. When you now focus your attention on it, you see what happened? You are going to drive down your frequency of vibration. You're going to drive down your frequency of vibration. Why? Because you are going to feel terrible. You're going to feel bad. Look at it again. See it now. You're going to feel terrible. You're going to feel bad. And you're going to find yourself at that level of humiliation, at that level where you blame others, at that level of despair, at that level of regret, at that level of anxiety, at that level of craving, at that level of hate, at that level of scorn. You are the one. You now make your predominant emotional state to be the low level of vibration. Your predominant emotional state to be at low level. You are the one making that to happen. Why? Why are you allowing it? Why are you allowing it? Why are you allowing it to happen? You are the one allowing it to happen. You are the one allowing it to happen. You are the one allowing it to happen. You have what it takes to prevent it. Don't give it the energy for sustenance. The strength of adversity in your life is given by you. The strength of the adversity you face is given by you. If you are going to perpetuate it, it's left to you. It's up to you. So you need to see your problem as minor and negligible for it to appear small and negligible. This is because reality has no strength other than the one you gave it. When it seems like the world and life are against you, it's because internally you are against yourself. When it seems like the life and the world are against you, it is because internally you are against yourself. There is a degree of internal disagreement and disharmony that you have in yourself that you unconsciously project outside of yourself. Why is it that the whole world is against me? No, the world is not against you, you are against yourself. Why is it that things are not always working in my own way? No, you are the one working against yourself. When you realize that the energy that reality has over you is from you, that is when you will be able to redirect it in the direction that serve you. In the direction that serve you. Number three, the things you need to do or understand to maintain your frequency. Ladies and gentlemen, see adversity as opportunity. See adversity and opportunity. You know, when anything happens to you in life and you label it as good or bad, you are keeping yourself on this physical plane of existence. Please note, in the spiritual realm, there's nothing like good or bad. Everything is the same. Everything is the same. You are the one that is, you know, when some people say, as in they are talking about God and that, you are the one that categorizes as good or evil. And anytime you categorize things like that, you label things like that, it keeps you on the physical plane. You are not, you're not thinking like God. You have to think the way God thinks. And in the spiritual realm, there's no such things as evil or bad or wrong. No. Now, if you think that way, you begin to see opportunities in adversity. Individual that operate at this level of frequency, unshakable frequency, most of the time, see adversity as opportunity. That's number three, see adversity as opportunity. That's what the Bible says, all things work together for good. Ladies and gentlemen, see adversity as opportunity. Number one, opportunity to show that you are internally stable. Opportunity to show that you are internally stable, that you are at a high level frequency of vibration. Opportunity to show that you have internalized what you are learning since last year. It's going to be about a year we've been on this. And quite frankly, we are going to continue this till the end of the year. We are going to continue this till the end of the year, I'm telling you. We are going to continue this till the end of the year, I'm telling you. Because it keep unfolding. We're going to continue this till the end of the year. We are currently on episode 30. And guess what? I still have more than 30, 40 topics, about more than 40 topics actually. Looking at it from different dimensions. Looking for it from different dimensions. See adversity as opportunity to put into practice what you have learned. Ensure you are not internally swayed. See adversity as opportunity. That means no matter what life throws at you, you should always remain steadfast and continue to grow irrespective of the challenges that life throws at you. You know, the scripture says, be ye steadfast and unmovable. Be ye steadfast and unmovable. Be ye steadfast and unmovable. When you begin to see adversity as opportunity, you will transmute reality to what you want. You will transmute reality to what you want. You will transmute that thing should have called anger. You transmute it and to make you happy. That thing that will have created hatred, you transmute it and I will bring love. That means that will make you lose your peace. You transmute it and you'll be at peace. Adversity should be seen as opportunity. Most people don't know that the world they walk in is like a mirror. You walk in a glass house, man. It's like a mirror house. And do you know what? People are scared of their own reflection. They are scared. Something just happened to you. You see that thing that happened to you? It's a reflection of your state of mind. If you accept that, then you do something about the way you are thinking and the way you are feeling. If you, not something that happens occasionally, where universe is testing you. I'm talking about when it happens repeatedly. Something that you don't like happen repeatedly. 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 If it happens repeatedly, something is not right internally. Always remember, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Always remember, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Always remember, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Always remember, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you are in a predominant emotional state, if you are in a predominant emotional state that shows you are full of fear, sadness, unhappiness, shame, despair, regret, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to attract people, circumstances, situations that will aggravate it. So you live in a glass house. Why are you afraid of why are you surprised at the reflection of yourself? Why? Why are you surprised at the reflection? What you are seeing in your life, if it's perpetuating itself, is a reflection of your predominant emotional state, ladies and gentlemen. So do something about it and see how reality will change. Do something about it and see how reality will change. You live in a glass house. They want to know that what they are seeing in the mirror is who they are internally. They don't know, rather. Most people don't know that the world they walk in is like a mirror house, and they are scared of their own reflection. They don't know that what they are seeing in the mirror is who they are internally, and that is their state of consciousness. 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 That's their state of consciousness. They don't know that is their state of consciousness. Once you begin to perceive adversity as opportunity, then you alchemize it. You convert it to a chemical, better chemical in your body. From being adversity, you transform it to opportunity. You need to see any degree of adversity as opportunity for you to emit the frequency that attract the opportunity to you. Adversity is an opportunity for you to put into practice all you are learning at this platform every week. Please note that you cannot control what life throws at you. But guess what? You can control what you do with it. Through reacting or responding. Life throws shit at you. You can go about complaining and be unhappy and sad that life throws shit at you and you're smelling up and down, but you can decide to convert the shit to manure and grow a fruit with it, and grow a fruit with it, and grow a fruit with it, and grow a fruit with it. So it's not about what life throws at you. It's about, are you reacting or responding? Reacting means the external is controlling how you feel inside. Responding means the internal piece is controlling how you feel on the outside. Reacting means the external chaos is creating chaos on the inside. Responding means the internal peace is creating peace on the outside. So you can see this as universe is doling out cards to everyone randomly. Please note, universe is doling out cards to everyone randomly. It is when you pick up the card you will know what it's therein, and you can keep the card or return it. 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 You keep the card of life. You keep this card of life when you don't want, when you react. You keep this card of life when you react, allowing the external to control the internal. You keep this card of life by reacting. When you allow the external to control the internal, you return this card of life. That you don't want it by responding, allowing the internal to control the external. The question to you is, are you keeping the card or you are returning the card? Are you keeping the card or returning the card? Are you keeping the card or returning the card? Many people keep the card and they are wondering why their life is the way it is. Many people keep the card, but they are wondering why their life is the way it is. But they chose to keep the card. But they chose to keep the card. But they chose to keep the card. And they are wondering why their life is the way it is. But you chose to keep the card. You could have returned it. You could have returned it. You need to be able to stand in stillness when there is a tornado of life around you. And this creates heaven inside. And this then is replicated on the outside, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is then replicated on the outside, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is then replicated on the outside, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So it is not about what is going to happen. It is about who you are, who you are going to be when it happens. It's not about what is going to happen to you. It's about who you are going to be. And let me tell you, when something happens, say, it was at the spur of moment, he reacted. He's a human. That's why he reacted that way. Well done. No matter the way you react, always remember, it is what is inside that will come out. If you are always having internal peace, no matter the chaos on the outside, you will maintain peace on the inside. Even if the thing shook you momentarily, you will be back. Just like the way a plane is flying and you enter a cloud and there's turbulence, but the train will you go up and up and up and you balance. It's balance. You balance. That's why plane rarely crash because of turbulence. Why? Because it's designed to handle turbulence. Unless the engine is bad or the gear is bad or something is bad. But if it's turbulence, it will go through the turbulence. It will be going up and up till it pass the turbulence. Till it pass the turbulence. And sometimes it can even fly above the turbulence or fly above the cloud. Maybe there is raining, it will fly above the rain. The rain will be falling from under and it will be out above the cloud and it's just cruising and the rain is falling under it. Because the rain is from the cloud. The turbulence is water vapor. Cloud are water vapor. Cloud are water vapor in gaseous state, which condense as rain. You need to be able to stand in stillness when there is tornado of life around you. This helps you to create heaven inside, and this is then replicated on the outside, because as a man thinking, that's so easy. So it is not what happened to you, it is who you are or going to be when it does happen. So you should always ask yourself, what will the version of me in my desired reality do in this situation? How will they see this situation? And what will they feel about this? How will they see this situation? And what will they feel about it? How will they see this situation? And what will they feel about it? How will they see the situation? And what will they feel about it? What will they feel about it? What will they feel about it? What's number one thing you need to do to have unshakable frequency or to maintain your frequency? Number one, see problem that you have has been already solved. You notice we'll be concentrating on problems since last week, because the reason why people's frequency go down is because of problems. Relationship problem, family problem, money problem, job problem, career problem, business problem. That is why our frequency fall, because life is full of challenges. So what we are discussing last week and this week is so critical. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed last week, go and get it. Is to keep you to be at where you must be in spite of what is happening around you. Number two, note that the strength of adversity in your life, that strength is given by you. You are the one that maintains the strength. You are the one that empowers it. You are the one that fuels it. You are the one that empowers it. You are the one that fuels it. No, something happened this week. Let me use a very practical example. Let me see if the lady is here. Okay, she has not joined. This lady is a banker, and something happened to her. She's a marketer and not performing the way she should because she has a target. And then the boss, you know, the way some bosses, when they have little emotional intelligence, when they are put under pressure from the head of it, they're also putting the marketer under pressure. And was telling him that he has reported out to HCM, that's the HR, and HR is send her a mail. The boss will send her a mail. Why? The fact that he has so number of days to perform else. So she was a bit worried. You know, when he asked me, when he asked me, I asked her that, you know, when we were on a Zoom call and he was discussing with me. And I was telling her that the way he was talking, when he finished talking, I said, "You're already troubled. You're already troubled." I said, so for me, it was a sign, and I was telling her that she was not practicalizing what she's learning. And I told her I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed. I said, I've told you before, all reality lead to one place. All reality lead to one place. All reality lead to one place. All reality, like that situation now is a reality, lead to one place, the place of your desired reality. Now, this is a situation. It's neither wrong or bad or good. You are the one that interprets it. Who tells you that this is now an opportunity for HCM to tell you and say, look, hello, it seems as if you are not performing here. Which unit do you think you'll be able to do very well? We want to give you the last chance. And then you'll be able to tell them you are doing a certification in a particular area, and you have been telling me about that unit, and you can tell them, look, I'm doing certification in this area. I believe I perform well in this. Is there no opportunity for you to go to where you really want to be before? I said, what tells you that this is not an opportunity for you to leave this organization and have another better opportunity? Why is it that you are focusing on the negative? Why? The reason you are focusing on the negative is because you are allowing reality to control the way you feel. Your perception of the situation, the way you interpret the situation. Immediately you know that reality, all reality lives to one place. You are the one that determines where it will end. If you create peace within, that reality will lead to peace and joy without. If you make it to create hell within, that reality will lead to hell without. You have control. I just hope people will understand this. You have control. And situation will come and test this. You have control. When you hear a bad news, when we hear bad news, the way you interpret it is critical. And it's based on what you see. When you change the way you look at the world will change the way you look at you. When you change the way you look at the problem will change the way you look at you. the intensity of the problem is given by you. You are the one that empower the problem. You are the one giving it the power, giving it the strength. You are the one giving it everything it has against you. And you do that by the way you see it. That's why I gave that example. Life throws shit at you. You can use that shit to produce manure and create good fruit. And you can go around showing people self-pity and unhappy, sad with life, saying, see what life has done to me. You have a choice. You have a choice. Number 4, what do you need to do to keep your frequency high up? You need to have an internal authority over external authority. You need internal authority over external authority. Those that are able to maintain their frequency have inner authority, and this is based on their confidence. The more inner authority you have, the less you will rely on external authority. The more inner authority you have, the less you rely on external authority. The more inner authority you have, the less you rely on external authority. The more inner authority you have, the less you rely on external authority. To rely on external authority is to rely on illusion and on lies. Most people, unfortunately, have too much external authority in their lives. The way you do this is to judge your situation by what is happening to you on the outside, what people are saying about you. So because you are doing the practice to manifest and nothing changed on the outside, then you conclude that it's not working because external authority is more important for you. The external validation, and you will read in the Bible that we walk by faith and not by sight, but you allow the external authority to control the internal. So you don't have internal authority such that your feeling is not based on what is happening on the outside, but what is happening on the inside. Remember, manifestation is internally shifting to a degree that you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change when you are good with it or good without it. When you are good with it or good without it. When you are good with it and good without it. When you are good with it and good without it. You need to be good with it and good without it, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, your eyes see 0.0035% of reality. Your eyes see 0.0035% of reality. So you really, what you are judging, you have, in fact, in my opinion, you are it's pride rather, for you to judge. How on earth do you rely on 0.0035% to draw conclusion? You draw conclusion too fast. You draw conclusion too fast. You draw conclusion too fast. Why are you drawing conclusion too fast? Why? Why? You need to ensure that external authority does not have power over you internally. That means internal authority more than external authority. More powerful. And the way you achieve that is to ensure that You do not allow what you see on the outside to control how you feel on the inside. So because you are doing the practice to manifest and nothing has changed out on the outside of you, you then conclude. The way to build inner authority is to build conviction. The way to build conviction is to trick your mind through emotional intensity with your imagination. You need an emotional experience. You can create that feeling, you can create the emotional experience through imagination. Remember, your mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. If you create that imagination with feeling, and you do it with intensity, 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 your mind automatically know that this is your state, this is your reality. It doesn't have any reason to doubt it again, and that's where you want to be. And that's where you want to be. And that's where you want to be. You have no reason doubting it again. You know why you will not doubt? The reason you are doubting is because you don't know. You know, when you know it internally, you're not bothered about. You already, it's like you have it already. You know you have it, even though it's not manifested on the outside. You know you have it, even though it's not manifested on the outside. This is so important. The way you build an authority is to build conviction, and the way you build conviction is to trick your mind through emotional intensity with your imagination. This makes the subconscious mind to see this as true, and this makes you to have conviction in it. And you will not need to see a change on the outside again to know that you have manifested your desired reality right there. If you catch yourself looking for sign on the outside, you have messed up, because you are not seeing yourself as the sign. You are the sign. You are the sign. If you are looking for external confirmation, that is a sign that that's a sign that you lack internal validation. If you are looking for external confirmation, that's a sign that you lack internal validation. If you are looking for external confirmation, that's a sign that you lack internal validation or internal authority. The fact that you need external validation is a sign that you have not been able to convince your subconscious mind that you already have what you desire. Remember, whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe you have received and you will have it. You can only have what you already have. Believe you have received and you shall have it. You can only have what you already have. Believe you have received and you shall have it. You can only have what you already have. If you have it subconsciously, it's just a matter of time. It will become your reality on the outside. When your mind is convinced of something, it does not need external validation to know that it is true. The conviction comes from your emotion, the emotional experience you have in feeling that the desired reality has manifested. The more you have conviction, the more you increase the chance of manifesting your desired reality. Most people rely upon external, and that is a sign of a degree of lack of internal authority. To rely on external means you don't have conviction. And not having conviction means that the subconscious mind is not convinced that your desired reality has manifested. The reason why your subconscious mind does not know their desired reality has manifested is because you have not created enough emotional experience. Listen to that. You have not created. The reason you do the practice of imagination, of emotion, of feeling the feeling every day, the reason you imagine, you visualize, the reason you meditate is to create enough emotional experience that is able to shift you internally to where you want to be. If you don't create time for meditation every day, when you are still and you visualize what you want to see in your life, if you don't create that time, you will never be able to manifest your desired reality. Because you can only have what you already have. If you don't have it vibrationally, you will not have it physically. If you don't have it vibrationally, you will not have it physically. If you don't have it vibrationally, you will not have it physically. If you don't have it vibrationally, you will not have it physically. If you don't receive it internally, it will not be manifested. He said, whatever you desire when you pray, believe you have received, you receive internally, and then you shall have it externally. Believe you shall receive, you receive it internally, then you shall have it externally. Believe you have received, receiving it internally, then you shall have it externally. Lastly, for today, number 5, you need to know that the strongest frequency win, the strongest frequency win, the strongest frequency win, the strongest frequency win. Life is going to throw adversity at you, but you can still win over reality if you maintain your frequency. This is because the strongest frequency win. The strongest frequency win. And to have a strong frequency, you need to maintain your conviction. To have a strong frequency, you need to maintain your conviction. To maintain your conviction, you need to ensure that subconscious mind is shifted through emotional experience created through your imagination. This needs to be done long enough. This needs to be done long enough to ensure that the high frequency is maintained, and this helps you to keep winning over reality. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to keep winning over your reality, you must maintain a strong frequency. To maintain a strong frequency, you need conviction. To be convinced, your subconscious mind must know you have manifested. And for your subconscious mind to know and keep in that frequency, you need to internally shift. How do you internally shift? Through emotional experience. Through emotional experience, which is created through your visualization, affirmation, meditation. Visualization, affirmation, meditation. The challenge of our world is the fact that many people are so busy, carried away with situations and circumstances, and many people in our world are so busy doing nothing. They are so busy doing nothing. Why can't you create an hour a day, in the morning, in the evening? Because if you are really, really serious about manifesting your desired reality, then you need to keep intensifying the emotional experience that make you to be in the point where you have no doubt in your mind that you have it. But guess what? Many don't have the time to create that emotional experience. They're too busy doing nothing. You know, sometimes you want to do something and you're not getting the right idea. If you want to get intuition for the right idea, you need to be the right frequency. You need to be in 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 the right frequency. The right frequency comes intuition. Mental nudges. Telling you do this, do that, do this, do that. And you're able to do the right thing. The right action is based on the right frequency. The reason the effort you are making is not generating result is because you're not taking the right action. And the right action is based on the right frequency. If you're at a frequency level that matches with your desired reality, you are going to be taking the right action. The idea will come to you. Something will just tell you do this. You just see yourself wanting to do this. You just see yourself wanting to, because you are at a frequency that enable you to have the right intuition and mental nudges of the right action to take. The reason why people say, I've tried everything, nothing seems to be working, is because of the frequency. Your frequency is the boundary of your operation. Your frequency keep you in a box. Your frequency is the boundary of your operation, ladies and gentlemen. Your frequency keep you in a box. You cannot think outside that box. You know, they say you should think outside the box, Abby. Your frequency has boxed you. You cannot outrun your frequency. 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 You cannot outdo your frequency. You cannot outdo your frequency. You cannot outrun your frequency. You cannot outdo your frequency. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the session this evening. Let me hear from you. What have you learned tonight? FOM laptop. You're number one on my list. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you,
How
sir.
are you?
I'm fine, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, sir. So, yeah, I've learned different things tonight. That that spiritual realm, the spiritual realm, that there is nothing bad, there's nothing good.
There's no such thing as good or bad. You are the one that is categorizing as good or bad because of your environment. Everything is the same. Everything is the same. That's why when something happens, you categorize as bad, and because you categorize that, this is why I always use Joseph as an example. Joseph, something bad happened to Joseph, was sold into slavery, but Joseph did not see it as bad. And how do we know? He told his brother later. He said, "You thought you sold me. God was preparing me." That's why Joseph was cool, calm, and collected. That's why he didn't escape and run back to his parents. He stayed there, do the work, because of what he's saying. He see this as, look, you make what you make out of the situation in your life is up to you. So stop labeling something as good or bad. And you will agree with me that some things have happened in your life that you thought was bad. Many years after, you say, thank God that thing happened. Oh, thank God that thing happened. Oh. Because it made you to learn a lesson that made you a better person. But you labeled it as bad before. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Another article for me is the powerful time that is very, very powerful meditation time, that you need to have time to really
You need to.
meditate.
You cannot be too busy to meditate. You cannot be too busy to meditate. You cannot. Spending time praying, meditating, visualizing, calling those things which be not as though they were. You cannot be too busy to do that. You can't. How on earth will you be too busy to be calling those things which be not as though they were? How on earth could you be too busy? The Bible says, through faith, we understand the word were framed by the word of God, so that the things that are seen are made out of the things which do not appear. And he spoke, let there be light, and there was light. So why will you not have time to speak to life what you want in your life? Go ahead.
All right, thank you, sir. That's my take for tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Grace, good evening. Hello, Grace. Are you there? Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
It's 21 hours.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
I don't even know where to start from. Because I guess whenever I listen to you, I just like always I immediately implement those things and then I use those words as searchlight to say, okay, where I'm falling short.
Yeah.
I'm where I'm falling short. And when you said that when you are looking for external validation,
Yes.
then that means you don't believe that
That means you
have
don't what?
manifested that internally. when looking for external validation, that means you have not manifested that which you want internally.
Yes. Those are
And
signs.
you know,
Those are clear
yeah,
signs that point out to the fact that, okay, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough internal work.
yeah, you know, I was just asking myself that sometimes, you know, you just need that. Sometimes you just need someone to just, you know, just take, oh, come on, Grace, you can do this thing, even when you're maybe uh try to doubt yourself. It's not maybe it was maybe you're just feeling that but sometimes you just need someone to just push you. So you know, I'm just trying to know like okay, way between looking for external validation and then of course you should know who you are, irrespective of external validation or whatever what other people say. But you know, sometimes maybe your support system, you just need to like, oh, I'm going through this, and then they're like the push to like, okay, no, come on, you can do this. Come on, Grace, you got this. So well, I, I'm just like, God, please just help me. And you know, as we were talking about this, and the lady that when the way she was talking, that you could tell that she was not actually practicing the things that
Yes.
she has been learning. So like, come on, Grace, I need to practice the things I'm learning, even when when the but let me know. I don't want to use the word reality because you know you've said this number of times that reality is just what we see is 0.035% of reality.
Yeah.
And I remember what one of my pastors said when I had a conversation with him last week. He said, whatever you are seeing or you see people doing that, they are lies. That is not what is happening. So yeah, so like even when as if what is manifesting is not my desired reality, I
Yeah.
should just believe that no, I've shifted internally because that's manifestation. That I've shifted to there, and then um, also knowing that I've forgotten how you said it. That every
All
I can't remember the way.
reality lead to one
Yeah,
place.
yes, exactly. So no matter what is happening, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, is actually leading to my real
Your
desired
desire.
reality.
So you now decide. You are the one that will decide if it's going to be positive or negative. It's going to be for you or against you. If it's
Yeah,
going to be for you or against you, it's up to you.
yeah. So that's it for me tonight. Thank you so.
Thank you. Grant. Grant.
Good evening, sir.
Grant.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Uh, um, so for me, the adversity and is an opportunity for practice, a chance to test these concepts and philosophy to prove them, to try them out. And I think I'm doing that more and more. And it's an opportunity for joy, for growth, for to show goodness, to show all those different natures. And when you were mentioning a part where if something is happening, then it means it's coming from inside. The man I was thinking but that's not always the case. Then you now said if it is something reoccurring, then the individual has to check within themselves. If it is the usual one-off things that happen when you are changing frequency, then you just know, oh, this is a temporal thing because you are
It's a
switching
test.
from one. Uh, when something happens again and again, it's really just that, and I really like that because it's a responsible viewpoint as against blaming external situations and every other person for occurrences. Because why I even now like it is because when you can't find the source or you blame every other person, then you can't do anything about it,
Yeah.
which just keeps a person stuck and paralyzed. Though it's easy to blame, like I think it's a very easy thing to just transfer the well, nothing changes. Also, what's the point? Then all reality leads to one place. Yeah, that just keeps me calm and calm. So whatever happens, just look towards it with the eyes of God. That everything works, everything works for good. So that way we would not conclude on our lives because of the things we see with our eyes. We would instead open the eyes of our spirits. I'll open the eyes of my spirit. And then you emphasize that we have control, each one of us have the control. Therefore, interpretation is my superpower. As
Yeah,
I phrase
yeah, yeah.
it's my superpower. Let circumstances not come and be determining my or dictating my emotions. I will choose I will choose what it does based on how I interpret it. And by the time the devil will just be frustrated in case he plans to frustrate you with an occurrence and he sees that you didn't even get part of, he will be so
And
vexed.
that's exactly what you need. Because now realize that it's not working. This thing is not working.
Yeah. There was a day I dreamt one funny dream.
Okay?
You know, something happened to my brother in my dream. Something happened to my and I woke up. I wanted to pray. Just remember that you said that if you dream that kind of funny dream, you stand up, go ease yourself, go back to sleep. And I was about to start the prayer. I don't say, it's attention you want, Abi. I put my head down, continue sleeping.
Do you understand? Do you understand? Because the fear is the real issue. The fear is the real issue.
Yeah, really, actually, the fear is the energy.
Fear
So,
is the
and
real
then
issue.
so even when it now seems like you're unable to, because sometimes the physical reality is so much in front of your face, and for me, I'll just be saying, "Thank you, Jesus." And as I reaffirm gratitude, it allows my frequency to change. Like instead of worrying about it, I just say, "Thank you, Jesus." Thank. So as I'm offering gratitude, it just means that, like me opening the eyes of my spirit to see that God is behind the scene with gratitude. Like I think we've said before that gratitude is one way to get on God's frequency
Yes.
or frequency of vibration. So it just changes the view, it changes the perspective. Then the way to build conviction is to trick my mind through imagination and charged emotions. So it allows information to get deep into the mind. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you. Favor, good evening. Favor, are you there? Good evening.
Yes, sir, I'm here. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Uh, yes, sir. Thank you so much for the session this evening. I didn't come in so early, but one of the things I took away was when you were speaking about authority within and authority without, having control over uh, ourselves, having control over our inner self. I don't know, while I listen to you speak, one of the things that actually dropped in my spirit is that it's like a conscious walk,
Yeah.
because somehow things get thrown at individuals, just like when you were giving the example of that lady, um looking at looking at life generally. From time to time, these external forces are just there. Like it's like constant. And just like you say, it's a very minute figure, but it's like constant and it's right in our faces. So most times it takes that consciousness, bringing oneself to that position where you maintain your frequency. You know that, oh, okay, this one I have to. So I tend to see myself um review or maybe like flashback or remember the classes. Like when you were saying you were disappointed around how she had responded. I noticed that in the course of my everyday work, I just noticed that I call to consciousness those things because sometimes some things just hit you and it comes like in your mind. There are things you can't even imagine. So I'll give a typical example today.
Okay.
We had an event at work and all of that. And most times I don't go for all those activities most times. But once in a while, I try to go to be able to network. Maybe if there's somebody that I'm expecting to get something from or I work with closely, the close stakeholder, I try to meet that person in this kind of environment and just socialize, like just talk normally and see how I can create that rapport such that the person would be able to respond during work times. So I just chatted somebody and was like, "Oh, you remember this thing we're trying to do? I'm trying to figure out how to do A, B, and C." And then somebody just walks out from nowhere, straight up to him, starts to whisper, starts to giggle, and she was speaking in Yoruba, and she was saying, and I can't even imagine all the things she said. I heard everything she said. It was so annoying. And I'm sure the guy knew felt that okay, maybe I didn't hear Yoruba, so and he
That's
too
why.
felt
That's
that
why I
way.
did that.
So immediately she said all of those things. The normal person, you just want to like, how can you be? I mean, senior person, how can you bring yourself to that level to speak wrongly about somebody right in the face of the person? I know what's the problem. So I think what just happened to me was while I listened, I just found myself just telling myself, see, you have to bring yourself to that place where you understand that she's having to do this because of. So I did not see the negative side. I started to reflect on the fact that okay, maybe create an excuse for her. Maybe she don't understand what she's doing, but why would she say this? But this is not the picture, So a lot of things play out even as we live our lives, as in practically when we start to see these things. But I want to say thank you very much, sir, because to a very large extent, I know it's not something that we would say, oh, I've arrived or I've achieved it. But I know that there is a work that is going on
Yeah.
inside, internally,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
gradual and there's a shift that is happening inside and it's gradual. I just want to say thank you very much, and I don't know what I would have done. Maybe if it was not for these sessions I listen into, maybe in those times we'll just find out that we'll just bust out and like that
Ah.
thing inside will now come out like, and then all for nothing. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you
All
for the
right.
session.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming also every week. Itowe. Good evening. Itowe, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Thank you for tonight's teaching, sir.
Yeah.
I want to thank you. Recently I have been trying to solve a problem, and
Okay.
I apply all the mechanism. I have even prayed. As I went out, as I was on my way going to the place, I said to myself, either the result is positive or negative, I will maintain my frequency. I will maintain my positive
Mm-hmm.
energy. Lo and behold, when I got there, do everything, the result came out negative. I was just saying, thank you, Jesus. I came back home because of what I've learned. I don't want to feel sad, but at the long run, I was meditating. I think after 2 days, the scripture just dropped in my heart. That settled it. So I don't give attention to it. Also, learning today make me affirm that if consistently as we are learning and we are practicalizing it, we are becoming better. We are becoming better. One thing today I learned is that if we can win inside, we have already won outside,
Yeah.
because the inside of us control the outside. Our mind control our outside, our emotion. Like something this afternoon, I came back from church, just sitting down in my sitting room. But I begin to see that It's like something was trying to get me become restless. I begin to do pep talk. My soul, why hast thou casted down? Trust thou in the Lord.
I
I
like
just dropped the phone.
that.
I just dropped the phone. I went inside and go. I said, let me go and rest my brain. I just go and sleep. When I wake up, that one has gone. So thank you for your teaching. Thank you for all the time. It has been consistently of being of help. And we will continue to do as much to put it into practice on our day-to-day living. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Amaka, how are you? Good evening. Ndidi Amaka. Benita. Okay, Benita is not there. Senator of the Federal Republic.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How you doing, sir?
You've been away. Oh. You went away.
Yes.
What's going on?
No, many things. Sometimes light, sometimes
Sometimes what?
maybe I slept off before I
Okay,
woke up.
light.
It's almost done. I'll be like,
Okay, light.
sometimes yes, maybe that NEPA issue. Sometimes maybe I slept off before I woke up. It was already past 10. So
This man.
and sometimes even network too. So those are the
All right, go ahead. Hello?
yes, sir. So thank you so much. I will try and catch up on the other ones I've missed.
Okay.
I really appreciate I really appreciate like one of the things I learned today was I think like the other speakers have said like you can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
I can hear you loud and
Oh,
clear.
that's so I said one of the major things I've learned was trying to understand that everything that you interpret you try and interpret events in the way like that serves you and
Yeah.
always like interpret it positively because if something bad has happened is if you believe that everything is leading to a particular goal, you will not be stressed or bothered about it. That we should whatever that we cannot control what life throws at us, but you can control how you react
Yeah.
or how you respond to
Yeah.
it. And it's important that we also take time to also like meditate on our goals and visualize and also like pray and meditate, visualize and also affirm our desires to the point that we cannot to the point that it becomes real and we cannot it's almost impossible to believe otherwise. So those are like my key points from it, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Amaka, are you there now? Okay, Amaka is not here today. Thank you very much, everyone. Next week, let me check what we are discussing next week. Next week, okay, please, Grant, I want you to remind me of this. I want us to do by end of okay, is next week the last Sunday? I want us to have a
No,
session where we discuss just Q&A based on what we discussed before we move on. Let me see. Next week we are supposed to do okay, boosting your confidence to manifest. Okay, maybe we can do that next week, or okay, or no, I think we should do that. Let's do that last week in June. Last week in June. That will be like half of the year. We have talked about this. Let's discuss and review. So last Sunday, Grant, please note down last Sunday in June for us to discuss, generally discussing Q&A. I just want to see what has happened and how we have implemented what we've discussed, and then questions that can help us to be able to ensure that we make the second half of the year better than the first half of the year. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good evening and a great week ahead. And bye-bye.